checked his door 3 times before he went to bed. He always did. Living on Orbital Station 12 was not dangerous, but old habits never died. He grew up on Earth, in a small town where people locked their doors at night. Even now, thousands of light years from home, he did the same thing. The lock clicked, the green light turned on, the door was sealed. He walked to his small bedroom and fell onto his bed. His body was tired. He worked 12 hours today, fixing broken engines and damaged hull plates. His hands still smelled like machine oil. He was too tired to shower. Tomorrow, he thought. He would shower tomorrow. The room was dark and quiet. The only sound was the soft hum of the station's life support system. It was a sound he had learned to love. It meant air. It meant safety. It meant home. Closed his eyes and slept. He did not know how long he slept. Maybe 4 hours, maybe 5, but something woke him up. It was not a sound. It was not a light. It was a feeling, a warmth against his back that should not be there. He was alone. He lived alone. He always slept alone. But someone was in his bed. His heart stopped for 1 second. Then it started beating very fast. He could feel another body pressed against his back. He could feel warm breath on his neck. He could feel soft fur touching his skin. Fur. He turned around slowly, afraid of what he would see. 2 golden eyes stared back at him. They glowed softly in the darkness. They belonged to a face that was not human. It was a face covered in silver-gray fur. It had a long nose like a wolf. It had pointed ears that stood up straight. It had sharp teeth that showed when the mouth opened slightly. It was a female. Screamed and fell off the bed. He hit the floor hard. Pain shot through his shoulder, but he did not care. He scrambled backward until his back hit the wall. His eyes were wide. His breath came in short, fast gasps. The female sat up in his bed. She tilted her head to the side and looked at him with curiosity. She did not seem afraid. She did not seem angry. She looked like she was confused about why he was on the floor. "Why did you fall?" she asked. Her voice was soft and low. It had a slight growl to it, but it was not threatening. It was almost gentle. "Why are you in my bed?" shouted back. She blinked at him. "I am sleeping." "I can see that. How did you get in here?" "I locked my door." The female looked at the bedroom door, then back at him. "The vent," she said simply. Looked up at the ceiling. There was a small air vent above his bed. The cover was pushed to the side. It was barely big enough for a child to fit through, but somehow this wolf-like alien had crawled through it. "You crawled through my vent?" he asked, his voice high with disbelief. "Yes." "Why?" She tilted her head again. Her ears moved forward like she was listening carefully to his question. "I chose you," she said. Stared at her, his brain could not understand her words. "You chose me. What does that mean? Chose me for what?" The female stood up from the bed. She was tall, maybe a head taller than him. Her body was covered in that same silver-gray fur. She wore simple clothes, a loose shirt and pants that looked old and worn. Her tail, long and fluffy, swayed slowly behind her. She walked toward him, pressed himself harder against the wall, but there was nowhere to go. She stopped in front of him and crouched down so their eyes were level. "I am Nara," she said. "I have watched you for many days. You smell safe. You smell like home. I chose you." "I smell like machine oil and sweat," said weakly. Nara leaned closer and sniffed his neck. He froze. Her nose was cold against his skin. She breathed in deeply and a small sound came from her throat. It was almost like a purr. "No," she said. "You smell like warmth. You smell like kindness. You smell like pack." "I don't have a pack. I'm human. We don't have packs." Nara pulled back and looked at him. Her golden eyes were very serious. "All beings have pack. Some are just alone too long and forget." Did not know what to say to that. He sat on the floor, his back against the wall, looking up at this strange wolf woman who had invaded his home. His heart was still beating fast, but the fear was slowly turning into confusion. "Look," he said, trying to sound calm. "I don't know what's happening here, but you can't just break into someone's home and sleep in their bed. That's not how things work." Nara sat down on the floor across from him. She crossed her legs and rested her hands on her knees. "On my world, it is how things work. When a finds their chosen, they go to them. They stay with them. This is the way." "This isn't your world. This is a space station. There are rules." "Rules are words. Instinct is truth." Rubbed his face with his hands. This was insane. He was sitting on his bedroom floor at some unknown hour of the night, having a conversation with an alien wolf woman about instinct and rules. "Okay," he said slowly. "Let me understand this. You watched me. You decided I was your chosen or whatever, and then you crawled through my air vent to sleep in my bed." "Yes." "Without asking me." "Asking is not needed. I know you are right. I can smell it." Let out a long breath. "What if I don't want this? What if I want you to leave?" Something changed in Nara's eyes. The golden glow dimmed a little. Her ears flattened against her head. Her tail stopped swaying and curled around her body. She looked smaller somehow. Hurt. "You want me to go?" she asked quietly. Opened his mouth to say yes. Of course he wanted her to go. She was a stranger. She broke into his home. She was an alien wolf woman who crawled through his vent like some kind of furry nightmare. But the words did not come out. He looked at her sitting there on his floor. He saw the worn clothes she wore. He saw how thin she was under all that fur. He saw the way her hands trembled slightly, like she was cold even though the room was warm. And he saw the fear in her eyes. Not fear of him, fear of being sent away. Was not a soft man. He had lived alone for 5 years on this station. He kept to himself. He did his work. He did not make friends easily. He did not trust easily. But he was not cruel. "I'm not saying you have to go right now," he said carefully. "I'm saying this is very strange and very sudden, and I don't understand what's happening." Nara's ears lifted a little. "You will let me stay." "I'm saying I need to understand first. Why me? There are thousands of people on this station. Why did you choose me?" Nara was quiet for a long moment. She looked down at her hands, then back at him. "I have been on this station for 47 days. I have smelled many beings. Most smell like fear. Some smell like anger. Some smell like nothing at all, like empty space." She moved a little closer to him. Her voice became softer. "You smell different. When you walk past, I smell patience. I smell loneliness. I smell a heart that wants to care but has no one to care for. You smell like someone who would protect, not hurt. You smell like home." Felt something strange in his chest, a tightness that was not fear. He looked at this wolf woman, this Nara, and he did not know what to feel. "You can smell all that?" he asked. Noses know truth. Humans hide their feelings with words and faces, but smell does not lie. Your smell told me everything I needed to know. Leaned his head back against the wall and stared at the ceiling. This was the strangest night of his life. He was a simple mechanic. He fixed things. He did not deal with alien wolf women who talked about smells and instincts and choosing. "I need coffee," he said. He stood up slowly. His legs felt weak. He walked to his small kitchen and started making coffee. Behind him, he heard Nara stand up and follow. She moved quietly like a shadow. The coffee machine hummed. The smell of fresh coffee filled the small apartment, poured 2 cups, then stopped. He looked at Nara. "Do drink coffee." "I do not know what coffee is." He handed her a cup. "Try it, careful, it's hot." Nara took the cup in both hands. She sniffed it carefully, her nose twitching. Then she took a small sip. Her eyes went wide. Her tail started wagging behind her. "This is good," she said. "This is very good." Despite everything, smiled a little. "Yeah, it's pretty good." They stood in his kitchen drinking coffee. The station hummed around them. Outside his small window, stars drifted slowly past. "So what now?" asked. Nara looked at him over her cup. Now I stay. I will be useful. I can cook. I can clean. I can protect you while you sleep. I don't need protecting. Everyone needs protecting. You just do not know it yet. Sighed. He had a feeling this wolf woman was not going to be easy to get rid of. She had made up her mind, and her mind seemed very difficult to change. Fine, he said. You can stay tonight, but tomorrow we're going to talk about this properly. We're going to set some rules. Nara's whole body seemed to light up. Her ears stood tall. Her tail wagged faster. She made that purring sound again. Thank you, she said. You will not regret this choice. I didn't choose anything. You showed up in my bed like you pay rent. Nara tilted her head. What is rent? Laughed. It surprised him. He had not laughed in a long time. Never mind, just drink your coffee. They finished their drinks in comfortable silence. When they were done, put the cups in the sink. He looked at the clock. It was 400. He had 3 more hours before he needed to wake up for work. I need to sleep, he said. I have work tomorrow. Nara nodded. I will sleep too. On the couch. Her ears flattened, but the bed is warm. The couch is also warm. I'm not sharing my bed with someone I just met. Nara looked at the small couch in his living area. It was old and worn, barely big enough for one person. She looked back at him with sad golden eyes. Fine, she said softly, the couch. Grabbed a blanket from his closet and handed it to her. She took it and held it close to her chest like it was something precious. Thank you, she said again. He nodded and went to his bedroom. He fixed his sheets and lay down. His body was tired, but his mind was racing. He stared at the ceiling and thought about everything that had happened. A wolf woman was sleeping on his couch. She called him her chosen. She said he smelled like home. This was definitely the strangest night of his life. He closed his eyes and tried to sleep. Just before sleep took him, he heard a soft sound from the living room. It was Nara humming quietly to herself. The sound was oddly comforting. Slept better than he had in months. Woke up to a smell he did not recognize. It was warm and rich and filled his small apartment. It smelled like food, real food, not the station rations he usually ate. He sat up in bed and rubbed his eyes. For a moment he forgot about last night. Then he remembered the wolf woman, Nara. She was in his home. He got out of bed quickly and walked to the kitchen. What he saw made him stop. Nara stood at his cooking station. She wore the same worn clothes from last night. Her silver-gray fur looked soft in the morning light. Her tail swayed gently as she worked. She was cooking something in his old pan, moving with skill and care. Good morning, she said without turning around. I made food. Walked closer. In the pan were eggs and some kind of vegetables. They looked good. They smelled even better. Where did you get eggs? He asked. I didn't have eggs. I went to the market. You went to the market? With what money? Nara turned to look at him. She tilted her head in that way she did. I traded. I have skills. A food seller needed help moving heavy things. I helped. She gave me eggs and vegetables. Did not know what to say. This wolf woman had woken up before him, gone to the station market, worked for food and come back to make him breakfast, all while he slept. You didn't have to do that, he said. I wanted to. You let me stay. I will be useful. She put the food on 2 plates and handed one to him, took it and sat down at his small table. Nara sat across from him. She watched him take his first bite. The food was good, very good, better than anything he had made for himself in years. This is really good, he said. Nara's tail wagged, her ears perked up, she looked pleased. I am glad. I was worried human food would be hard to make, but cooking is cooking. Fire and heat work the same everywhere. They ate in silence for a while, watched Nara as she ate. She used her hands, not utensils. She ate quickly but neatly. When she was done, she licked her fingers clean. Okay, said when he finished. We need to talk about this, about you being here, about what you said last night. Nara nodded. Yes, I will explain. She folded her hands on the table and looked at him with those golden eyes. In the morning light he could see her better. Her fur had patterns in it, darker gray around her eyes and ears. Her face was expressive, more than he expected. Right now she looked serious. "Are a dying species," she began. "Our world is gone, destroyed by war many cycles ago. The survivors scattered across the galaxy. We live on stations, on ships, on planets that are not ours. We are always strangers." Listened quietly. He had heard of them, but only a little. They were rare. He had never met one before Nara. "Because we are scattered, we cannot find mates the old way. We cannot gather and dance and compete. So our instincts changed. We adapted." She touched her nose. "Now we find our chosen through smell. When I find someone whose scent matches their soul, we know. We feel it deep inside. It is not a choice. It is a truth." "And you smelled me." "Yes, I smelled you many times. Every time you walked past, I followed your scent. I learned you, I understood you, and I knew you were my chosen." Leaned back in his chair. This was a lot to take in. "But I'm human. I'm not. Doesn't that matter?" Nara shook her head. "Species does not matter. The soul matters. The scent matters. Humans have a smell that is," she paused, searching for words, "unique. Humans smell like fire and earth and something I cannot name. It is warm. It is alive. Many have found their chosen among humans." "Many, there are others like you, bonded to humans." "Some, not many. Humans are rare in outer stations. But those who bond with humans say they are the best chosen. Loyal, protective, full of feeling." Rubbed his temples. His head was starting to hurt. "Nara, I don't even know you, we just met. You can't just decide I'm your mate or whatever." "Not mate," she said quickly. "Chosen, it is different. Mate comes later if both agree. Chosen is first step. It means I stay, I protect, I care. You do not have to do anything. You do not have to love me. You just have to let me stay. Just let you stay, in my apartment, forever. Not forever, until you send me away, or until one of us dies." Stared at her. "That sounds like forever. Maybe is that bad?" He did not know how to answer that question. He stood up and walked to his window. Outside, the stars moved slowly past. Ships docked and left. The station was alive with thousands of beings, all living their own lives. And here he was, with a wolf woman who wanted to stay with him forever. "I need to go to work," he said. "I know, you start at 800. You work in the mechanical sector. You fix engines." He turned to look at her. "You know my schedule. I told you, I watched you, I learned you." "That's a little creepy." Nara's ears flattened. "I did not mean to be creepy. I just wanted to know you, to make sure you were right." Sighed, he grabbed his work jacket from the hook by the door. "Look, I need to think about all this. Stay here today. Don't break anything. Don't let anyone in. We'll talk more when I get home." "I will be here." He opened the door, then stopped. "And stay out of my bed." Nara's tail drooped. "The couch is small." "Deal with it." He left and walked to work. His mind was full of thoughts, all spinning around one thing: the wolf woman in his home, Nara, his chosen. The work day was long. Fixed 3 engines, 2 water recyclers, and 1 broken door. His hands moved automatically, doing work he had done 1,000 times before. But his mind was somewhere else. His noticed. Jun, an older man who worked the station with him, came over during lunch break. "You look distracted today," Jun said. "Something wrong?" Shook his head. "Just didn't sleep well." "Bad dreams?" "Something like that." He could not tell Jun the truth. How could he explain that a wolf woman had crawled through his vent and declared him her chosen? It sounded crazy even in his own head. When his shift ended, walked home slowly. He was not sure what he would find when he opened his door. Maybe Nara would be gone. Maybe she had realized her mistake and left. Maybe this whole thing was just a strange dream. He opened his door. The smell of food hit him immediately. Warm, rich, delicious. Nara was in the kitchen again. She turned and smiled when she saw him. "Welcome home," she said. His apartment was different. It was clean. The floors were swept. The windows were washed. His dirty clothes, which he had left in a pile for weeks, were folded neatly on his bed. The place looked better than it had since he moved in. "You cleaned?" he asked. "I said I would be useful. You didn't have to do all this." Nara walked over to him. She was so close he could smell her. She smelled like pine trees and something sweet. It was not a bad smell. "I wanted to," she said. "This is your den, my den now too. A den should be clean and warm and safe." "It's not a den, it's an apartment." "Same thing, different word." She went back to the kitchen and finished cooking. Dinner was some kind of meat with vegetables. Did not ask where she got the meat. He was too hungry to care. They ate together at his small table. This time he paid more attention to her. She ate less than he did. She was thinner than he first thought. Under all that fur she was almost fragile. "When did you last eat?" he asked. "Before today." Nara paused. She did not look at him. "Some days ago." "How many days?" "Maybe 5, maybe 6. I do not count well." Felt something twist in his chest. "You didn't eat for almost a week." "Food is hard to find when you have no money, when you have no home. I found things sometimes. Small things, it was enough." "That's not enough. You're starving." Nara shrugged. "Can go long time without food. We are survivors, we adapt." Pushed his plate toward her. "Eat more, there's plenty." She looked at the plate, then at him. Her golden eyes were uncertain. "But this is yours." "I'm sharing. That's what you do when someone is hungry, you share." Nara took the plate slowly. She ate the rest of the food, and he could see how hungry she really was. She was not just thin from being poor. She was starving. She had been starving for a long time. When she finished, she looked at him with a strange expression. Her eyes were wet. "Thank you," she whispered. "Stop thanking me. You cooked it. You cleaned my apartment. If anything, I should thank you." Nara shook her head. "You do not understand. For 47 days no one helped me. No one looked at me except to fear me or hate me. No one shared anything, but you let me stay, you share your food, you are kind." Did not feel kind. He felt like any person would feel when they saw someone starving. He felt normal. "Is that why you chose me?" he asked. "Because I'm kind." "I chose you because you are right. Kindness is part of that, but there is more." She touched her chest over her heart. "I feel it here. When I am near you, the fear goes away. The cold goes away. I feel warm. I feel safe. I have not felt safe in very long time." Looked at her, really looked. He saw the worn clothes, the thin body, the tired eyes. He saw someone who had been alone and afraid for too long. He saw someone who just wanted somewhere to belong. He saw himself 5 years ago when he first came to the station. Alone, lost, wondering if he would ever feel at home again. "Fine," he said, "you can stay." Nara's ears shot up. "Really?" "Really? But we're going to do this properly. You sleep on the couch until I say otherwise. You don't go through my vent again, and you tell me before you go somewhere." "Yes, yes, I agree. I will follow all rules." "And one more thing," he pointed at her. "You start eating properly, 3 meals a day, no more starving." Nara nodded quickly. Her tail was wagging so fast it was almost a blur. "I promise, I will eat. I will be healthy. I will be useful." Stood up and started cleaning the dishes. Nara jumped up to help, standing beside him at the sink. They washed dishes together in silence. It felt strange. Had lived alone for so long that having someone beside him was almost uncomfortable, but not bad uncomfortable, just different. Nara said quietly, "Yeah. Thank you for giving me a chance." He handed her a plate to dry. "Don't thank me yet. You might hate living with me. I snore. I work long hours. I'm not very fun." I do not care about fun, I care about safe. You are safe. They finished the dishes and sat in his small living room. Nara curled up on the couch with the blanket he gave her, her tail wrapped around her body. She looked comfortable. She looked happy. Sat in his chair and watched her. He still did not understand everything. He did not understand the bonding instinct. He did not understand why she chose him. He did not understand what any of this meant. But looking at her, curled up on his couch, looking more peaceful than she probably had in months, he knew one thing. He was not going to send her away. Get some sleep, he said. Tomorrow is another day. Nara smiled at him. It was the first real smile he had seen from her. It was warm and bright and made her whole face change. Good night, she said. Good night, Nara. He went to his bedroom and lay down. Through the wall, he could hear her humming softly again, that same quiet tune from last night. It was gentle and strange and unlike any music he had ever heard. But it was nice. It made the apartment feel less empty. It made him feel less alone. Closed his eyes and slept. In the living room, Nara curled into her blanket. She breathed in deeply, filling her nose with scent. He was everywhere in this apartment. In the walls, in the furniture, in the air. She had found him. After all this time, after all the running and hiding and starving, she had found her chosen. And he was letting her stay. Nara closed her eyes and smiled. For the first time in years, she was not afraid. For the first time in years, she was home. Tomorrow would bring new things, new challenges, new rules. But tonight she was warm, she was fed, she was safe. That was enough. That was everything. A week passed, then two, and Nara found a rhythm together. Every morning, Nara woke up first. She made breakfast and had coffee ready when opened his bedroom door. Every evening, she had dinner waiting when he came home from work. The apartment was always clean. His clothes were always folded. His life was suddenly organized in ways it never had been before. It was strange at first, was not used to having someone around, but slowly he started to like it. He started to look forward to coming home. He started to miss her when he was at work. He did not tell her this. He barely admitted it to himself. One night they sat together in the living room, read on his data pad while Nara fixed a tear in one of her old shirts. She was good with her hands, quick and careful. He watched her from the corner of his eye. Nara, he said. She looked up, yes. You never told me about your past, where you came from before the station. What happened to you? Her hands stopped moving. Her ears flattened against her head. For a long moment she did not speak. Then she put down the shirt and looked at him. You want to know? Only if you want to tell me. I'm not going to force you. Nara was quiet. Her golden eyes looked far away like she was seeing something he could not see. Then she spoke. I was born on a ship, a refugee ship carrying survivors from the... My mother died when I was young, disease. Many died of disease on that ship. Too many bodies, not enough medicine. Said nothing, he just listened. I grew up on that ship. I learned to work, to fight, to survive. When I was old enough, I found work on stations, cleaning, carrying, any job that would pay, but it was never easy, are not welcome in many places. Why not? Nara's jaw tightened. Because we are valuable. Frowned, valuable how? Females are rare. Our species has more males than females, much more. After the died, many females died too. Disease hit them harder. Now for every female there are maybe 10 males, maybe more. She looked down at her hands. They were trembling. This makes us valuable to bad people. Slavers, criminals, they hunt females. They capture us and sell us to rich aliens who want exotic pets, or worse. Felt his blood go cold. Slavers hunt you. Yes, they have been hunting me for 2 years. I ran from station to station, planet to planet, always running, always hiding, but they always found me. They always came. She pulled up her sleeve. On her arm, hidden under the fur, were scars. Long, thin lines where the fur did not grow back properly. "They caught me once," she said quietly, "on a mining station. They kept me in a cage for 6 days. I escaped through a vent like I came into your home, but they hurt me first. They hurt me to show me what would happen if I did not obey." Felt sick. He wanted to say something, but words would not come. "After that, I ran harder. I trusted no one. I slept in ducks and cargo holds. I ate garbage when I had to. I did whatever it took to stay free. And then you came to this station." Nara nodded. "This station felt different. It is small, poor, not the kind of place slavers usually look. I thought maybe I could hide here. Maybe I could be safe." She looked at him, and her eyes were wet with tears she refused to let fall. "But I was dying, not from hunger, not from fear, from cold. Cold. Need warmth, not just heat but warmth. The warmth of pack, the warmth of belonging. When I is alone too long, the cold takes them. It starts inside in the heart, it spreads through the body, and slowly we fade, we stop eating, we stop moving, we stop caring, and then we die." Her voice cracked. I felt it starting. The cold was in my chest. Every day it grew worse. Every day I cared less. I thought maybe I should just give up. Let the cold take me. It would be easier than running forever. His hands clenched into fists. "But you didn't give up." "No, because I found you." She looked at him with such intensity that he could not look away. "Your smell saved me. The first time I smelled you, the cold stopped growing. Every time I followed your scent, I felt warmer. You were like a fire in the darkness, a light I could follow. That's why you came to me. Yes, I was dying. You saved me. You do not even know it, but you saved my life just by existing." Did not know what to say. He looked at this wolf woman, this refugee, this survivor. She had been through more pain than he could imagine. She had been hunted and captured and hurt. She had been alone and cold and dying. And she had found him. "I'm not special," he said. "I'm just a mechanic." Nara shook her head. "You are wrong. You are kind when you do not have to be. You share when others would take. You let a stranger into your home because you saw she was suffering. That is not common. That is rare. That is special." Stood up, he walked to the window and looked out at the stars. His mind was full of thoughts he could not organize. He felt angry and sad and protective all at the same time. "Those slavers," he said, "are they still looking for you?" "Maybe, I do not know. I have been careful. I have not left your apartment much. Maybe they lost my trail. Maybe they found other targets. Or maybe they're still coming." Nara was silent. That was answer enough. Turned to face her. "If they come here, what happens?" "They will try to take me. If you are in the way, they might hurt you or kill you." Her voice was steady, but he could see the fear in her eyes. "That is why I should leave. I should not bring danger to you. You have been kind enough. You do not deserve." "Stop," said. Nara went quiet. He walked over to her. He sat down on the couch beside her, closer than he had ever sat before. He looked into her golden eyes. "You are not leaving." "But—" "No buts. You are not leaving. You came to me because you needed somewhere safe. I gave you that. I'm not going to take it away because some slavers might show up. You could be hurt. I could be hurt crossing the street. I could be hurt working on engines. Life is dangerous. That doesn't mean we run from everyone who needs help." Nara stared at him. Her mouth opened and closed, but no words came out. Her eyes filled with tears again, and this time she could not stop them. They fell down her furry cheeks, leaving wet trails. "Why?" she whispered. "Why are you like this? No one has ever protected me. No one has ever stayed." Reached out and did something he had never done before. He touched her face. His hand rested against her furry cheek, and he felt how soft she was, how warm. "I don't know why," he said honestly. "But when I look at you, I see someone who deserves better than what life has given her. And maybe I can't fix everything. Maybe I can't undo the past, but I can give you a place to belong. I can give you a pack. Nara's breath caught. You would be my pack. I'm already your pack. You chose me, remember. That means something. I didn't understand it at first, but I do now. You put your trust in me. The least I can do is earn that trust. Nara broke down. She leaned forward and pressed her face against his chest. Her shoulders shook with sobs she had held back for years. All the fear, all the pain, all the loneliness came pouring out of her. Wrapped his arms around her. He held her tight and let her cry. He felt her tears soak through his shirt. He felt her claws grip his back, not hard enough to hurt but hard enough to hold on. They stayed like that for a long time. When Nara finally pulled back, her eyes were red and puffy, but she was smiling, a real, true smile that lit up her whole face. "Thank you," she said. "Thank you for being you. Thank you for trusting me." Nara laughed. It was a strange sound, half bark and half giggle, but it was beautiful. It was the first time he had heard her laugh. "I must look terrible," she said, wiping her face. "You look fine." "Liar." "Maybe a little, but you still look fine." She laughed again. Then she grew serious. She took his hand and held it between both of hers. "I need you to understand something. What I feel for you is not just instinct, not just the bond. I care about you, really care. You are the first good thing that has happened to me in years. I do not want to lose you." Squeezed her hand. "You're not going to lose me. If the slavers come. If they come, we'll deal with them, together. I'm not going to let them take you. I'm not going to let anyone take you." Nara's eyes widened. "You would fight for me." "I would do whatever it takes. That's what Pac does, right?" She nodded slowly. "That is what Pac does." They sat together on the couch, still holding hands. The station hummed around them. The stars drifted past the window. The galaxy was vast and cold and full of danger. But in this small apartment there was warmth. There was safety. There was something that had not existed before. There was family. Looked at Nara. She looked back at him. Something passed between them, something unspoken but understood. Things had changed tonight. The wall between them had crumbled. They were no longer just a human and a wolf woman sharing an apartment. They were Pac. "It's late," said. "We should sleep." Nara nodded, but she did not move. She looked at the couch, then at him. "The couch is cold tonight," she said quietly. Hesitated. He had rules. He had boundaries. But looking at her, after everything she had shared, those rules seemed less important. "Fine," he said. "You can sleep in the bed, but stay on your side." Nara's tail wagged so hard her whole body shook. "Really? Don't make me change my mind." She jumped up and ran to the bedroom, followed more slowly. When he got there, she was already curled up on one side of the bed, her tail wrapped around her body, her golden eyes watching him. He lay down on his side. The bed was small, and even with her on the edge, he could feel her warmth beside him. It was different from sleeping alone. Different, but not bad. "Good night," Nara whispered. "Good night, Nara." He closed his eyes. Just before sleep took him, he felt her move closer. Her head rested against his shoulder. Her breathing slowed and deepened. Did not push her away. He fell asleep with a wolf woman curled against him, and for the first time in years, he did not feel alone. Whatever came next, they would face it together. That was what Pac did. 3 more weeks passed. Life was good. Went to work every day. He came home to a clean apartment, warm food, and Nara. They talked about everything and nothing. They learned each other's habits. They became comfortable together. Nara slept in the bed now, not on her side like had asked, but curled up against him. He pretended to be annoyed, but he slept better with her warmth beside him. He never told her this, but he suspected she knew anyway. Her nose always knew the truth. That morning woke up late. It was his day off. Nara was already in the kitchen, making something that smelled like heaven. "Good morning," she said when he walked in. Morning, he yawned and sat down at the table. What are you making? Pancakes. I learned the recipe from a human woman at the market. She said humans love pancakes. She's not wrong. Nara put a stack of pancakes in front of him. They were golden and fluffy and perfect. He took a bite and made a sound of appreciation. These are amazing. Nara's tail wagged. She sat across from him with her own plate. I am glad. I want to learn more human foods. I want to make you happy. You already make me happy. The words came out before he could stop them. They both froze. Nara's ears perked up. Her golden eyes went wide. I do, she asked softly. Felt his face get warm. He looked down at his pancakes. Yeah, you do. Life was pretty boring before you showed up. Now it's better. Nara was quiet for a moment. Then she reached across the table and touched his hand. Her claws were careful, gentle. You make me happy too, she said. Happier than I have ever been. They finished breakfast in comfortable silence, helped wash the dishes, standing beside Nara at the sink. Their shoulders touched. Neither of them moved away. After dishes, decided to fix the broken light in the bathroom. It had been flickering for weeks. Nara sat in the living room, reading something on his data pad. She had discovered human fiction and was fascinated by it. Everything was normal. Everything was peaceful. Then Nara went stiff. Noticed immediately. He came out of the bathroom and saw her standing in the middle of the living room. Her whole body was tense. Her ears were up and forward. Her nose twitched rapidly. Nara, what's wrong? She did not answer. She just stood there frozen, smelling the air. Then her eyes went wide with terror. They found me, she whispered. His heart dropped. Who found you? The slavers. She turned to look at him. Her face was pale under the fur. I can smell them, 3 of them. They are on the station. They are coming this way. Are you sure? I never forget a smell. They are the same ones who caught me before. They are here. They found me. She started to shake. Her whole body trembled like she was caught in a cold wind. The fear in her eyes was primal, deep, beyond words. Crossed the room and grabbed her arms. Nara, look at me. She looked at him, but her eyes were wild. We talked about this, he said firmly. If they came, we would deal with it together, remember. But they are here. They will take me. They will. They are not going to take you. His voice was hard, absolute. No one is taking you anywhere. You are my pack. I protect my pack. Something flickered in her eyes, a tiny spark of hope in the sea of fear. How long do we have? Asked. Nara sniffed the air again. 10 minutes, maybe 15. They are searching. They have not found this building yet. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Let go of her and move to the closet. He pulled out a bag and started throwing things in. Food, water, medical supplies. You know the maintenance tunnels, the ones I showed you last week. Yes. You're going to take this bag and go into the tunnels. There's a junction at Sector 7. Wait there. If I don't come for you in 1 hour, you run. You get off this station any way you can. Nara shook her head violently. No, I will not leave you. You don't have a choice. You said we face this together. You said Pack stays together. Pack also protects each other. If they catch you, they will hurt you. They will sell you. I can't let that happen. He grabbed her shoulders again. I can slow them down. I can buy you time. But I can't do that if I'm worried about protecting you. Nara's eyes filled with tears. They will kill you. Maybe, maybe not. Humans are harder to kill than we look. This is not a joke. I know, he softened his voice. Nara, I need you to trust me. I have a plan, but it only works if you're safe. Please, go to the tunnels. Wait for me. I will come for you. She stared at him for a long moment. The fear was still there, but something else was growing. Determination, anger, fierce, burning love. She grabbed his face and pulled him down. Her lips pressed against his. It was quick and sudden and over before he could react. If you die, she said, I will never forgive you. Then she took the bag and ran out the back door, watched her go. His lips still tingled from the kiss. His heart pounded in his chest. He had work to do. The first thing he did was lock the door. Then he grabbed his toolbox. In it were wrenches, hammers, and a plasma cutter he used for stubborn metal. Not weapons exactly, but in the right hands anything could be a weapon. He positioned himself beside the door and waited. The minutes passed slowly, counted his breaths. He stayed calm. He had been in fights before back on Earth. Bar fights, street fights, stupid fights over nothing. He was not a fighter, but he knew how to throw a punch. He knew how to take one too. Then he heard footsteps in the hall. 3 sets, heavy. They stopped outside his door. There was a beep as someone tried to hack the lock. Tightened his grip on the wrench. The door slid open. A figure stepped through. It was tall and reptilian, with green scales and yellow eyes. It wore black armor and carried a stun baton. It did not cease standing beside the door. Swung the wrench with all his strength. It connected with the back of the reptile's head with a crack that echoed through the apartment. The slaver dropped like a stone. The second slaver came through immediately. This one was faster. It saw and swung its baton, ducked and drove his shoulder into its chest. They crashed into the wall together. The third slaver pushed past them, heading for the bedroom. "Find the female," it shouted. "She's here somewhere." Elbowed the second slaver in the throat. It gagged and stumbled back. He grabbed its baton and swung, catching it across the face. It went down. The third slaver came back out of the bedroom, angry. "She's not here. Where is she?" Faced it. This one was bigger than the others, heavier. It looked at its 2 fallen companions, then at the human standing in front of them. "You," it said with disbelief. "A human took down 2 of my crew." "Looks like it." The slaver laughed. It was an ugly sound. "You think you're strong, you think you can protect her. We've been hunting for 10 years. We've killed better things than you." "Maybe, but you've never tried to take something from me." Raised the baton. His hand was steady. His fear was gone, replaced by something colder, something harder. The slaver charged and swung the baton. It hit the slaver's arm. The slaver roared in pain but kept coming. Its claw caught side, tearing through his shirt, drawing blood. Gritted his teeth and fought through the pain. He hit the slaver again and again. Each blow was harder than the last. Each blow was fueled by every story Nara had told him, every scar she carried, every tear she had shed. The slaver stumbled, fell, tried to get up. Hit it one more time. It stopped moving. He stood in his ruined apartment, breathing hard. Blood ran down his side. His hands ached. His body screamed with pain. But he was alive, and the slavers were down. He reached for his communicator and called station security. "This is Sector 4, Apartment 7B. I have 3 intruders down. They're slavers. Send someone now." The security officer's voice was shocked. "3 slavers. Are you injured?" "A little, just send help." He ended the call and slumped against the wall. The adrenaline was fatting. The pain was growing. He looked at the blood on his hands and wondered if it was his or theirs. Both, probably. The security team arrived 5 minutes later. They found sitting on the floor, holding his side. They found 3 slavers unconscious and restrained with electrical tape. "You did this yourself?" the lead officer asked. Nodded. "With a wrench and a baton. And a lot of stubbornness." The officer shook his head. "Humans are crazy. We've been told." They took the slavers away. A medic came to treat's wounds. The cut on his side was deep but clean. Nothing vital was hit. He would heal. When everything was done, made his way to Sector 7. His body hurt with every step, but he kept walking. He had promised Nara he would come for her. He found her in the maintenance tunnel, exactly where he told her to wait. She was curled in the corner, hugging her knees, her eyes wet with tears. When she saw him, she launched herself at him. She crashed into his chest and wrapped her arms around him. She was crying and laughing at the same time. "You came back," she sobbed. "You came back. I promised I would." She pulled back and saw the blood on his shirt. Her eyes went wide. "You're hurt." "It's nothing, just a scratch." "That is not a scratch." She started checking his wounds, her hands gentle despite her panic. "What happened? Are they gone? Did they?" "They're gone. Security took them. They won't be hunting anyone for a long time." Nara stared at him. "You fought them alone." "3 of them, 2 went down easy. The third was tougher." "You are insane." "Probably." She hugged him again, more carefully this time. Her face pressed against his neck. He could feel her tears on his skin. "You could have died," she whispered. "But I didn't. You could have let them take me. You could have saved yourself." Pulled back so he could look into her eyes. "Never. I told you, Nara, you are my pack. I protect my pack, always." Nara looked at him like he was the most precious thing in the galaxy, like he had hung the stars themselves. "I love you," she said. Smiled. "I love you too." She kissed him again. This time it was longer, deeper, full of everything they had been afraid to say. When they finally broke apart, they were both breathing hard. "Take me home," Nara said. "The apartment is kind of a mess right now." "I do not care, take me home." Took her hand and together they walked back through the station. People stared at them, the human with blood on his clothes and the wolf woman holding his hand, but neither of them cared. They were pack. They were family. And no one would ever take that away. The days after the attack were quiet. Took time off work to heal. Nara never left his side. She changed his bandages every morning. She made him soup and tea and forced him to rest. She slept curled against him every night, her ear pressed to his chest, listening to his heartbeat. She needed to know he was still alive. The station security officer came by on the 3rd day. His name was Officer, a tired-looking man with gray hair and kind eyes. He sat in a small living room and told them what happened to the slavers. "They're being transferred to the Central Authority," Officer said. "They'll face trial for trafficking, assault, and a dozen other charges. They're not coming back." Nara sat close to, her hand gripping his. "What about others? They work in groups. There might be more." "We've sent warnings to other stations. Their network is being tracked." Officer leaned forward. "But I have to tell you, they weren't just any slavers. They were some of the worst, experienced, dangerous. The fact that one human took down 3 of them." He shook his head. "It's already spreading through the station. People are talking about you." Shifted uncomfortably. "I just did what anyone would do." "No, you really didn't." Officer stood up. "Most people would have called for help. Most people would have run. You grabbed a wrench and fought. That's not normal. That's something else." He walked to the door, then stopped. "There's something about humans. I've been working station security for 30 years. I've seen every species do terrible things and wonderful things. But humans always surprise me. When you care about something, really care, you become unstoppable. It's like nothing else matters." He left, sat in silence for a long moment. "He is right," Nara said softly. Looked at her. "About what?" "About humans, about you." She touched his face, her claws gentle against his skin. "When you found out they were coming, you did not hesitate. You did not think about yourself. You only thought about protecting me. That's what Pac does." "Yes, but you are the first person who ever did it for me." Her eyes were wet. "My whole life I have been running, I have been hiding, I have been alone, and then you came. You let me into your home, you let me into your heart, and when danger came, you fought for me. You almost died for me." "But I didn't die." "No, you didn't." She leaned her head against his shoulder. "You are my pack, my family, my everything." Put his arm around her. They sat together in the quiet apartment, watching the stars drift past the window. The galaxy was vast and cold and full of dangers, but here in this small space they were warm. They were safe. The next few weeks were better. Wounds healed. He went back to work. Life returned to something like normal. But things had changed. Everyone on the station knew what happened. The human who fought off 3 slavers alone. The mechanic who protected his wolf woman. The story grew with each telling. By the end, people were saying he had fought off a dozen armed killers with nothing but his bare hands. Tried to correct them, but no one listened. They wanted the legend. They wanted the hero. He gave up and let them believe what they wanted. The other thing that changed was Nara. She was different now, more confident, less afraid. She walked through the station with her head held high. She talked to people. She made friends. She was no longer a shadow hiding in corners and ducts. She was visible, she was present, she was alive. One evening came home from work to find Nara waiting for him, but something was different. She looked nervous. Her tail was tucked. Her ears were down. "What's wrong?" he asked. Nara did not answer right away. She walked to the couch and sat down. She stared at her hands for a long moment. "I have been thinking," she said. Sat beside her. "About what?" "About us, about the future." She looked at him and her golden eyes were serious. "When I came to you, I was desperate, dying. I needed somewhere to hide. I needed someone to save me. And you did. You saved me in ways I cannot describe." "Nara." "But now I am better, I am healthy, I am not dying anymore. The cold is gone, the fear is gone. I have been so happy here with you." Her voice cracked. "But I have been thinking, maybe I should leave." Felt like she had punched him in the chest. "Leave? Why?" "Because you never asked for this. You never asked for a wolf woman to invade your life. I came through your vent like a thief. I pushed myself into your home, your bed, your heart. Maybe now that the danger is over, you want your life back, your peace, your solitude." She was crying now, silent tears rolling down her furry cheeks. "I would understand," she whispered. "I would not blame you. You have given me so much already. I do not want to be a burden." Stared at her. She thought she was a burden. After everything they had been through, after everything they had shared, she still thought he wanted her gone. He reached into his pocket and pulled something out. It was a small key card, the spare key to his apartment. He had been carrying it for days, waiting for the right moment. He pressed it into her hand. "This is yours," he said. Nara looked at the key, then at him. "What?" "I had this made a week ago. I was going to give it to you at dinner, but now seems like a better time." He closed her fingers around the key. "This is your home, Nara. Not because I'm letting you stay, because you belong here, because I want you here, because I love you." She stared at the key like it was made of starlight. "You have a key," he continued. "You come and go as you please. You don't have to ask permission. You don't have to thank me. This is your home, our home, for as long as you want it." Nara broke down. She threw herself into his arms and sobbed against his chest. Her whole body shook with the force of her crying. All the doubt, all the fear, all the worry poured out of her in waves. Held her tight. He stroked her fur. He whispered soft words into her ear. He let her cry until there were no more tears left. When she finally pulled back, her eyes were red and puffy, but she was smiling. The biggest smile he had ever seen. "I love you," she said. "I know," he smiled back. "I love you too. I will never leave." "Good, because I don't want you to." She laughed, that strange bark giggle that he had grown to love. She looked at the key in her hand, then clutched it to her chest like a treasure. "My first home," she whispered. "My first real home. Our home. Our home." That night they had dinner together. Nara made pancakes again, even though it was evening. Did not complain. They ate and talked and laughed. They talked about the future, about plans and dreams and things they wanted to do. For the first time, those dreams included both of them. After dinner, they stood by the window and watched the stars. His arm was around Nara's waist. Her head rested against his shoulder. Her tail wrapped around his leg. "Do you ever think about Earth?" she asked. "Sometimes, not much anymore." "Do you miss it?" Thought about it, Earth was far away, a distant memory of green fields and blue skies. It had been his home once, but not anymore. "No," he said, "I used to, but I found something better." Nara looked up at him. "What did you find?" He kissed her forehead. "You." She made that purring sound, low in content, corny. "True. Both." They stayed by the window for a long time. The station moved slowly through space, carrying its cargo of lives and dreams and hopes. Somewhere out there, the galaxy spun on, full of wonder and horror in equal measure. But here, in this small apartment, there was only peace. In the weeks that followed, life grew even better. Nara got a job at the station market, helping vendors with heavy lifting and organization. She was strong and quick and reliable. People liked her. She made more friends. Got a promotion at work. Senior mechanic. More pay, more responsibility. He was good at his job and people noticed. They fell into a rhythm. Morning coffee together, work during the day, dinner together at night, talking and laughing and simply being together. 1 month later came home to find the apartment changed. There were flowers on the table, real flowers somehow grown on the station. There were candles lit. Soft music played from his data pad. Nara stood in the middle of the room, wearing a new dress. She looked nervous and beautiful. "What is this?" asked. "Today is the day we met," she said. 2 months ago I came through your vent and changed everything. I wanted to celebrate." Smiled. "You remember the date." "I remember everything about you." She walked to him and took his hands. 2 months ago I was dying, I was alone, I was afraid. And then I found you, you gave me food, you gave me shelter, you gave me love, you gave me a home." She squeezed his hands. "I do not know what I did to deserve you, but I am grateful every day, every hour, every minute." She looked into his eyes. "I love you, I will love you for the rest of my life. You are my pack, my family, my heart." Felt his throat get tight. He was not good with words. He had never been good with words. But looking at this wolf woman, this beautiful, brave, wonderful woman, he tried anyway. "I locked my door that night," he said. "I slept alone. I had slept alone for 5 years. And then I woke up and you were there, just like that, like it was the most normal thing in the galaxy." He laughed softly. "I should have been scared, I should have been angry, but I wasn't. Even then, even that first moment, part of me knew. Part of me knew you were supposed to be there. Part of me had been waiting for you." Nara's eyes were wet again, happy tears this time. "I love you, Nara. I didn't know what love was before you. I thought I was fine alone. I thought I didn't need anyone, but I was wrong. I needed you. I just didn't know it yet." He pulled her close. "You are my pack, my family, my heart, and I will never let you go." She kissed him, long and deep and full of love. When they pulled apart, they were both smiling, laughing, crying all at once. "Pack of two," Nara said. "Pack of two," agreed. Outside, the stars wheeled slowly past. The galaxy stretched on forever, full of mysteries and dangers and wonders, but none of that mattered now. They had found each other. Against all odds, across all the darkness, they had found each other. And that was enough. That was everything. In his small apartment on Orbital Station 12, a human mechanic and his wolf woman stood together, watching the stars. They had started as strangers. They had become friends, lovers, family. They had become pack. And pack stays together. Always.